Helen, good afternoon. We've heard so much about Schapelle Corby over the years and the possibility of her being released. What is the significance of this latest information?
This Justice Minister, Amir Siam student, is essentially the one who will decide whether she's granted parole or not. The decision rests solely with him. So now he is stepping into his office this morning, and that's where the media caught him, and he said, look, I've got 1,700 names to consider. That's the amount of reviews that have been put for me by people who look at the parole applications, and I'm going to look at all those 1,700 in the next 3 days, and I will be finished them by this week, and Schapelle Corby's name is amongst them. But he did say, I won't be giving her application any special treatment, but that she does deserve to get her rights in line with the existing regulations.
So the information is that he is going to consider the application and not that it has been approved or anything like that just yet?
Look, I'm not sure what's in the review that's going to be put in front of him. I'm not sure what's on the piece of paper regarding her applications that will be put in front of him. And this is essentially the parole board which decides whether or not an application can be approved. So we need to find that out, but he's essentially looking at what they recommend and then deciding whether or not to sign off on it.
If it was to be the case that the Justice Minister was going to agree to parole Schapelle Corby, do you understand that she would have to spend some time in Indonesia before returning to Australia?
Well, look, the understanding is that that's the only way this could happen. You know, that certain undertakings would have been given, that she would serve out some of her time in Bali. Now, apparently, she has received the documentation, a passport and approval from the Indonesian Immigration Department. And as you know, the speculation is that, and the preparation has been that she would be spending out her sentence at the house of her sister Mercedes, who lives in the area. So this, if the minister signs off and he does agree and she receives parole, she would still be living in Bali, but out of Kerobokan prison, where she spent more than 9 years, which is a very tough place to be in.
Yeah. And have there been any indications from the prison personnel that she was going to be released? Well, as I said at the start of our chat, there's been a lot of false starts on this over the years. Have you heard of any positive indications from the prison personnel and the man in charge there at Kerobokan prison?
Look, no, I haven't. As you said, there's been lots of false starts. There's also lots of speculation around this, of course. The constant line from prison authorities has always been that, you know, if you're a good inmate, you follow procedure, you follow regulation, you make an effort to be a good inmate, then that does help you with your application. And it also has to be remembered that even if it is an approval and the minister signs it, you know, that approval then has to find its way back to Kerobokan in Bali, and then a decision about when she could actually walk out the gates would still have to be made.
Yeah. Okay, Helen Brown, well, I'm sure you're going to keep across that over the next few days. Thanks for bringing us up to date there on that news with Schapelle Corby.